demonstration of the new Kentucky e-Clearinghouse portal. We are super excited. If I could get everybody to mute their microphones, just so we do not have any distractions during this demo. Go ahead and just mute everybody right now. But like I said, I'm Cole Sutton with DLG. We're excited to show everyone our new e-Clearinghouse portal that will transfer into the new DLG portal further down the road with federal grants and state grants. Just a few housekeeping things. We will have folks in the chat to monitor any questions that you may have. The fine folks at Ernst & Young will be with us. Mr. Josh will be kicking off the meeting here shortly. He'll be giving you the demonstration and showing you the overview of the new portal. I think we've already discussed the mute, so we can cut down on distractions. I did want to go ahead and introduce Miss Cindy Sipe. She is our e-Clearinghouse program coordinator here at DLG. And Miss Cindy, if you want to introduce yourself, tell everybody hello.
Good morning, everyone. Cindy Sipe with you. Good to have you.
These protesters have kind of gone away.
Anyway, it's good to have you all here. I hope you enjoy the presentation and that you learn a lot from it. We're hoping for a smooth transition come January 15th to the 16th, actually the 16th, and learn a lot from Josh. He's got tremendous skill, and I hope you all, if you have questions, please be sure and ask. And afterwards, if there's anything that you still have questions about, I'm here to help you. So welcome.
All right, thank you, Miss Cindy. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and kick it over to Josh and get everything started. Like I said, we will be monitoring the chat. If you have any questions, please feel free to jot anything down there. They will try to break in from the demo to answer those questions, but we will try to hold all questions till the end. At the end of everything, if you do have questions, please raise your hand and we'll call on you. But we'll go ahead and get started. Josh, it's all yours, buddy.
Perfect. Thanks for the intro there, Cole and Cindy. So yes, I'm Josh Saldua, part of the EY team, working to develop this DLG portal. And today I'm going to be walking through, as Cole mentioned, kind of the end-to-end process for what it will look like for reviewers to create an account, log in to what we call the DLG portal, and then be able to access applications that we are assigned to complete a review on, and then ultimately review that application and provide endorsement or non-endorsement based off of the review. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and start from the very start of the process in creating an account. So this first part is going to be how all primary reviewers and how we suggest secondary reviewers create an account to the DLG portal. So here we see on my screen is an email inviting me to the DLG portal. And what we're going to do is going to go ahead and when this goes live, send an invitation out to all of the primary reviewers. So you should see an email similar to this. So just first name, last name here. I've been invited to the Kentucky DLG portal and the particular organization that I've been invited to be a part of. And then here is a link. This link is going to take me to the DLG portal and then pre-populate an invitation code to where I can go ahead and create an account that is set up to be a part of this organization. I'm going to go ahead and down here on the bottom, we see some instructions for what the process looks like once I get to this page after clicking this link. So if you ever have any questions about how to create an account after this demo, you can always refer back to this email for further instructions on how to fully create that account there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link here and then walk through the process of creating an account. I'm going to pull it up here in a separate tab. So I just clicked the link and it brought me to the DLG portal. So here we see, as I mentioned, it has an invitation code already pre-filled. So we're going to go ahead and leave this. This is the specific invitation code tied to your specific account that you're going to go ahead and create, and make sure that you get set up with the correct organization and all that. So I'll go ahead and click register here. And it's going to bring me up to a separate login page. What is Microsoft Entra? And then first step is going to be to click this no account, create a new one. This first page that it brings you to is the default sign-in page. So we do need to click this no account, create a new one to initiate the creation of the account. So I'll go ahead and click that. And once I click that, it's going to prompt me to input the email address that I received the invitation to. So I have that copied here on the side. So I'll go ahead and paste that in. Make sure that's the correct one. Actually, I think I copied the wrong one. Apologies there. So again, we just want to make sure that we're inputting the same email address that the invitation was sent to. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that directly from the email account, paste that into the account creation here, click next, and then I'm going to be first prompted to verify based off of a code sent to my email account. So I'm going to go ahead and click back to my email account now. And I should see a verification email. That's what we see here, new email, and simply click on this, and it's going to have a verification code to where I can copy this, paste it back into the account creation screen, and then continue on here. This next step is just going to be simple information regarding the account. So password, phone number, first name, last name. Just going to go ahead and paste my password in here so you don't have to see me type through this. The name for this user is going to be Mike Smith. I already have an existing user in the account, so that's why I'm naming this something different here. So it's a little bit easier once I switch to the actual training demo of the review. So we can see there's going to be a clear switch to an account that's already set up to be a reviewer for different applications. So just going to go ahead and finish off creating the account here. And here, this display name is just whatever is easiest for you to remember. When you come back in to log into Microsoft Entra, it will prompt you to select an account, and it'll show this display name here. So this will come back whenever you attempt to log into the DLG portal, and it's just a simple naming convention that you want to come up with, but nothing is set off of this particular field here. So I'll go and click next. And there you go. It's created my account. Let that load for a little bit, and then it's going to ask me if I want to stay signed in. Go ahead and click yes here. And so every time I come up to this browser and come to the DLG portal, because I selected to stay signed in, if I were to attempt to log back in using the same browser, it'll automatically just load my page and sign me in here as Mike Smith. So that goes over the process to how all reviewers and individuals can create an account using the invitation email. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to an existing account that I already have set up and one that is assigned to be a reviewer for particular applications already. So here, clicked over to a different tab here. I'm now logged in as this Tom Testing reviewer. And again, we see a similar page to what we just saw as Mike Smith. This is what we call the DLG portal landing page, or the home page for all of the DLG portal here. What I'm going to focus on here for this demo, specifically for the reviewers, is going to be all the processes that the reviewer might complete. So starting out with potentially adding another sub-reviewer to complete so that I can add them as a sub-reviewer for different applications. A little bit of background on this particular Tom Testing. So in this particular environment, he has been set up to be the primary reviewer for the Buffalo Trace ADD organization. So all of the applications that have been submitted to this portal and that have been sent out to be reviewed and are part of the Buffalo Trace ADD, this Tom Testing has been set and assigned to complete a review on those particular applications because he is the primary reviewer for that particular organization. So starting out with a little bit of organization management here, I'm going to click here on the top right of the screen on my name. It's going to give me a little drop down here to where I can view more specific information regarding my particular profile. That's just going to show some of the information that I populated when I created my account. This organization is going to show me information regarding the organization and then adding and removing members as well. And then lastly, we just have a log out button. So when we've completed all our processes, we can go ahead and log out of the system using this button here. I'm going to go ahead and click into the organization, and I'm going to go ahead and invite a user to be a part of the organization so that I can assign them to be a sub-reviewer later on in the process when I get to looking at applications. So first, when I click on the organization page here, it's going to show me default information regarding the organization. So this is kind of a shell of a page with it being the Buffalo Trace ADD, but we can see that I am a part of the Buffalo Trace ADD. If the organization that I'm a part of has a specific unique identifier, we would see that populated here, or any other address or phone information here as well. What I'm going to focus on here for this demo is going to be this last tab, this members tab. Go ahead and select this, and we can see all of the members that are a part of the Buffalo Trace ADD organization. So we can see there's a few members here, and we can actually see that Mike Smith, because he accepted an invitation to be a part of the Buffalo Trace ADD at the beginning of this call. Now that I've verified and logged in as this user, we can see that he's now part of this team and his status is active. But what I'm going to go ahead and walk through now is adding a different separate user to be a part of the organization. So I go ahead and click this invite user button. It's going to give me a modal here to input the first name and last name. So I'll go ahead and invite a new member to the team, Liz Thomas. I'll go ahead and input an email here. And I would like her to be an admin. One thing I wanted to address is this organization contact type field, staff versus admin here. The main difference between these two is, so currently I am managing this organization by adding or inviting a user to this organization. My Tom testing is an admin to this particular organization, so I have the ability to manage the members of this organization. But if I were to invite Liz as just a staff, she would not have the ability to invite users or delete users as Tom testing does, being the admin. So I'll go ahead and invite her as just a staff member to this organization. So I'll go ahead and select submit here, and it's sending an email out to Liz Thomas, letting her, the exact same email we saw at the beginning of this call actually. It's just unique to her particular name and her particular account. So she will see that exact same email that we saw at the beginning of this call, with a link that will take her to the DLG portal where she can accept the invitation and create an account to the DLG portal. And we'll actually come back to Liz Thomas a little bit later. As I mentioned, I've now added her to this organization, and when I get into the different reviewing processes and functionalities within the application, I'll go ahead and add her as a sub-reviewer when I get to that point. Getting into accessing the applications that I've been assigned to complete a review on and being able to view all of those applications, I'll click on this where it says e-Clearinghouse on the top right. And if I select review projects, it's going to show me all of the applications that my particular user, so again, Tom testing, has been assigned to complete a review on. And again, just a reminder, this Tom testing is the primary reviewer for the Buffalo Trace ADD. So any application that has been submitted that is within the Buffalo Trace Area Development District, by default, this Tom testing will be assigned to conduct a review on these applications. One thing I do want to point out here as well is we also have the ability to view all of the applications that the organization as a whole has been assigned to complete. So if I click this org review projects to the left of my assigned reviews, it will then refresh this table here and show me all of the applications that the organization as a whole has been assigned to conduct a review on. Because I'm the primary, we don't see too much of a change here because by default, I am assigned to complete a review on all of the applications that my organization is assigned to complete. But say, for instance, I logged in as the Liz Thomas, who I just created as or invited as a sub reviewer. When she was would be brought to this My Assigned Reviews. She would see nothing because she is a new user and there have not been any applications assigned for her to review. But if she were to click on this Org Review Projects, she would see the exact same table that I'm seeing here because she is a part of the Buffalo Trace ADD. And these are all of the applications that have been assigned to that particular organization to review. I'm going to go ahead and click back to this My Assigned Reviews, and I'll go ahead and open up one of these applications so I can walk through the process of that page and everything that is in it there. I'm going to go ahead and open up this SAI ending in 0004 for Kentucky Arts and Cultural Heritage Digital Access Initiative. So when I click this link, it's going to bring me to a page that shows specific information regarding this one application to where I can view all of the inputs and conduct my review from this particular page. We have this page broken out in different tabs here, which we see here: Summary, Reviewers, Information Requests, Comments, and Documents. And we'll go through each one of these different tabs and what each tab entails and what actions can be taken here. I'm just going to go over a high-level overview of each one of these tabs, and then we'll go through each one in detail and performing each action that we can on each one of these tabs here. So this Summary tab, which we were brought to by default, is going to show all of the information provided by the applicant when they were going through the application. Clicking over to the Reviewers tab, we're going to see all of the specific reviewers for my particular organization that have been assigned to conduct a review on this application. Information requests is going to be how I can communicate back and forth, how I can communicate as a reviewer to the applicant. Comments is going to be all of the comments and endorsement or non-endorsement decisions based on this application. And finally, we have the Documents tab where we can view documents provided by the applicant when they were going through the application. So again, going to go through each one of these tabs in a little bit more detail. Just wanted to walk through a little bit of a high level of each one of those tabs before I got into each one of them. So clicking back to the Summary tab here, this again is going to show all of the information that the applicant provided when they were completing their application. So first on top in this general section, we just have some general information regarding this application. So we have the SAI number, what organization submitted the application, what individuals submitted the application, and then their phone number and email. Then once we get past that general section is where we're going to see all of the inputs provided by the applicant. So this is pretty much mirroring the application itself in the particular order that the applicant walked through it. So first, in this applicant section is going to be specific information regarding the applicant themselves. Next, we have project detailed information here. Below that, we have the specific wastewater details and solid waste details inputs. And then lastly, here in the bottom, we have funding details here as well. So we can view all of the information that the applicant provided in their application here on this page. I'm going to go ahead and scroll back up to the top. Before clicking over to the reviewers, one important note that I wanted to call out here is the ability to print from this page. So say, for instance, we wanted to print the application for whatever reason, we can do that here, just having the Summary tab clicked. If we go ahead and just do a right-click print, or if we just do a simple Control-P and bring up the print page, it's going to print this Summary tab and show all of the inputs provided by the applicant. So again, this is just printing what we see here in the Summary tab, which is going to be everything provided within the application itself. And then we can just simply click print here and have the application printed. Go ahead and click cancel here and move forward to the Reviewers tab. So again, this Reviewers tab is going to show all of the particular individuals who are a part of my organization, Buffalo Trace ADD, and the particular reviewers that have been assigned to this application. So again, and I've said it a few times here, but this Tom Testing is the primary reviewer for the Buffalo Trace ADD. So they have been automatically assigned to conduct a review on this application, with them being the primary. But say, for instance, since I'm the primary, I have the ability to add a separate reviewer to the application to conduct a sub-review on this application. And I can do so by clicking here on the right, Add Reviewer. And then, as I mentioned earlier in the call, I invited Liz Thomas here to be a part of this organization, and I want her to conduct a sub-review on this particular application. So I also want Mike Smith, the account I created at the beginning of this call, to also conduct a sub-review on this application. Just a note here, I can select however many individuals I want from this list. I can select everybody, I can just select one if I wanted to, but for this case, I'm going to go ahead and select these two, Mike Smith and Liz Thomas here. If I go ahead and select add selected reviewers here, it's going to go ahead and send them an email letting them know that they've now been assigned to conduct a review on this particular application. And then another thing it does is that when these two individuals log in, they will now see this application on their My Assigned Reviews list. So thinking back on the list of all of the applications that were assigned to my particular user to conduct a review on, this particular application will now appear on Liz and Mike's lists now that they've been assigned to conduct a sub-review on these applications. I also have, once I've added individuals to complete a review, I also have the ability to remove them as needed. One thing I'd like to note here as well, between the primary and sub-reviewers for an application, with me being the primary reviewer, Tom testing, say for instance, I've completed my review and I want to go ahead and get my endorsement in. I don't need to wait for the sub-reviewer to complete their review. I don't need to wait for them to complete their review. I can go ahead and complete my review and provide my endorsement and comment whenever I need to. So I'm not bound by their review status being and not submitted. And one thing I would like to note, as the primary, if I were to go ahead and submit my review before the sub-reviewers complete their review, the sub-reviewers at that point would then not have the ability to complete or edit their review at that point because the primary, being myself, would have already submitted the review at that point. I'm going to go ahead and click over to the Information Request tab now. So again, this Information Request tab is how, as the reviewer, I can communicate back and forth with the applicant. So say I was reviewing the application and saw something that I wanted some more information on, I can go ahead and let them know here via what we call an information request. To demonstrate this, I'm going to go ahead and click over to a different application that I've been assigned to complete a review on. So this separate application with the SAI ending in 50. If I click to the Information Requests tab here, we can see there's been a little bit of traffic on this tab here. There's been some communication back and forth between the reviewer and the applicant themselves, and we can see all of them listed here. So each one of these rows is going to be a different information request sent by the Buffalo Trace ADD to the applicant to answer a specific question on. Here on the right, we see some numbers here. So we see a little 2 here, we see an 8 here on this particular information request. These are how many responses there have been to this particular information request. So this bottom information request, if I click on this number, or this little drop down here, it's going to expand all of the responses provided by the applicant so that I can read them as needed and have my questions answered. And like, for example, this one with 8, we're going to see quite a bit of responses back and forth between the applicant in response to the information request that I submitted here. In order to create a new information request, if I click this new information request button here, it's going to give me a little pop-up here, and I have the ability to provide a subject and message itself. So say I just have a question for waterline information, details. I have a question here, how many households are tapping into the new water line? I can go ahead and send this message and it'll send an email to the applicant letting them know that there's a new information request regarding this particular application where they then could log in and respond to this question that I had. And then when they respond to that question, I would then be able to see the response by clicking this drop down here. As we can see, there's been no responses yet since I just sent out this information request, so we see no replies. But when the applicant does reply to this information request, we would be able to see that here. Then go ahead and click back to the initial application that I was looking at here. I'll move forward to the Comments tab. This Comments tab is going to show all of the comments and endorsement decisions for all of the organizations and individuals who have been assigned to conduct a review on this application. So as we can see, Scott from the Kentucky Heritage Council has already provided his comment to this particular application, with Kentucky Heritage Council being an automatic endorsement with this particular comment, and then we can see the reviewed on date as well. Whenever there's a new endorsement or non-endorsement along with comment provided and the review has been submitted from any organization, we will see that added here. And we'll be able to see that at the end of this demo here. When I ultimately complete my endorsement and provide my comment, we'll see the page refresh and then that comment added here to this list as well. Moving on to the Documents tab here. This Documents tab is going to show all of the documentation provided by the applicant when they were going through their application. So in this particular example, for this application, there is a sitemap provided. If I wanted to view this document to make sure everything looked good with the sitemap as the reviewer, I can go ahead and click on it here and it'll download it to my computer, where I can then open it and verify everything looks good with this particular document and how it relates to this application. So I see it just got downloaded to my computer, and I can go ahead and open it up from here. Give it a few seconds to load, and then I can verify that the sitemap looks good. Here it is opening up on a different window. And here's that sitemap, so I can make sure everything looks good while conducting my review of this application. Go ahead and close out of that now. So the last piece is going to be how, as a reviewer, I can submit my endorsement and my particular comment for this application. So say I have gone through this application thoroughly and I'm ready to make my decision as the primary reviewer for this application. The way I will do that is by clicking here on the top right, the Submit Review button. It's going to give me a little modal here asking me whether I am endorsing this project or not. I'll go ahead and select yes, and then I just have a sample endorsement comment here that I can provide. One thing I would like to add is this box does expand, so if your comment is a little bit longer than this one, this box will expand as you continue to type down this list. So it'll be easy for you to read. Just to demonstrate that, if I were to paste this a few times, you see that box getting quite larger so that I can read as I go through. Just going to go ahead and remove all that and add the original comment. And I go ahead and click submit. So right now it is submitting that comment and updating this particular review. And again, as the primary reviewer, it's closing down this application review for my particular organization. And as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and click over to the Comments tab real quick. And we now see the particular endorsement reviewed on today with my particular comment, reviewed by Buffalo Choice ADD and Tom Testing, myself, the individual that I'm logged in as. One thing I wanted to mention that we see updated as well once I complete my review is we see these two little icons here updated to show that the review is complete and that the comment has been submitted. So going back to one additional thing that I'd like to mention as well, difference between the primary and the sub-reviewers. If I were a sub-reviewer completing a review on this application, so if I were Liz or Mike here as sub-reviewers, and they went in the same way and completed their review on this application, they would see that their comment has been submitted, but the review has not been completed yet because the primary has not completed their review. So this review complete waits for the primary reviewer for the organization to complete their review, and this comment submitted just looks at the particular user that you are logged in as to see if that endorsement has been submitted or not. One thing I'd like to add as well is the button here on the right is no longer here since the comment has already been submitted. But that's just about it. Covers end to end for how reviewers like yourselves can log into the portal via a organization invitation, and then being able to access the list of applications that you and your organization have been assigned to complete a review on, and then how we can actually conduct that review from this review project page, and then view all the input from the application, add new reviewers, submit information requests, and view comments as well. Go ahead and pause for any questions. Also check the chat as well. I haven't seen if there's any traffic there yet, but free to come off mute if there's any questions as well.
Yeah, Josh, it doesn't look like we have any questions in the chat, but as you mentioned, if there's anyone out there that has questions, please feel free to come off mute, ask them now. We'd love to make sure we clarify them for you so you feel comfortable with this going forward. All right. So what does this look for me as a reviewer? What Josh has shown you has been the perspective of the reviewer. We do also have submitters. Some people within your cabinet or ad may be submitters as well. This was strictly on the reviewer side of things and how they work. We will have documentation for both personas. So the recording of this meeting will be posted out by DLG along with training documentation for the reviewer. So you'll have this available. And then additionally on the site, we'll be posting information, training information for the submitters so they know how to go through. Now, one question has been, if I have a submitter, do I need a separate account as a reviewer? No. You can use the same account to submit applications as well as review them. And the key thing is here, we're tying it into an organization. So as long as they're associated with your organization, they're able to review anything that's assigned to them. They're able to submit on behalf of the organization. All right. Moving forward, the goal is that we will have this live on Friday, January 16th. What that means is we are going to cut off the ability to submit applications in the current, soon to be legacy e-Clearinghouse portal. Now, anything that was submitted and still in flight prior to January 16th, we will have to complete within that legacy e-Clearinghouse. So for a brief period of time, you'll be working on those in the legacy and in the new. So 30 days, I believe, is the time that we look to have all of the applications closed out. So for 30 days, you'll need to go in, monitor, make sure you complete all the reviews in that legacy e-Clearinghouse, and then any new applications that get submitted January 16th and onward, you'll use the new DLG portal for. So that's what the transition is going to look like. As Josh mentioned, Thursday evening, Friday morning, the primary reviewers for each organization, so the main point of contact who's ultimately responsible for the organization's voice on the review, they will be getting one of the invitation emails and can log in, get the account set up, so on and so forth. From there, it is on the primary reviewer to invite any additional people that you may need to perform additional reviews for you. One little hint is you can also invite people who might be submitters as well. All right, if they're a submitter, you still want them a part of your organization, you can go ahead and invite them. That way they're not having to search and find it. They just have the link right there and can access it. So with that, there was one question I believe that we have gotten common, Cole, that you've brought up before, was what does it look like for extension requests? Extension requests, as I mentioned, anything that is submitted in the legacy clearinghouse January 15th or prior will be completed in the legacy e-Clearinghouse. This includes going back and requesting letters for extension. Now, any new applications, though, in the new system, the DLG Portal, those you'll be able to request extensions there for applications created there. But anything that has been created in the legacy system, you can still, and submitted, created and submitted, I guess is the key. You can still complete and request extensions for in that legacy application. All right. I'm going to open it up once again. Any questions anyone may have?
Thanks, Scott. I did want to bring up a question that we received yesterday or the day before. Once a review is complete, can you open it back up?
Good one. Yes, that is a great one. Once a review is complete, you are not able to open it back up. All right. Once you've submitted it, that's it. It's locked. Now, if you're a sub-reviewer and there's something that you do something mistaken, reach out to DLG, the DLG team, and we can work to help you sort that out. It's a little more complex with primary reviewers, but ultimately the reason why we do not allow you to edit submitted comments is these are going on to the letter, and we need to ensure that nothing is going to change if that letter is ever generated. So you won't be able to go back and edit anything that has been submitted.
Thank you, sir. Another one we received yesterday was, is there a way to connect to the RIS to see the mapped project?
For projects that are water or wastewater type, there will be the RIS number, and it should have a link that you can click in order to take you to the RIS portal to access that specific project there.
Thank you, sir. And then another one that we have discussed the last couple of days, it is not in the current iteration of the portal, but we are prioritizing this as something to tweak after go live. When a sub reviewer completes a review, will the system send an email notifying the primary reviewer that a review is completed?
As of present, no, there is no notification of a sub reviewer to a primary reviewer that their review is completed, or of any additional sub reviewers to whoever assigned it to them that the review is completed. It is the responsibility of the members of the organization to go in and monitor. You saw where Josh showed you the reviewers tab. You can see what the status is of the reviews, if they've completed them or not. You'll just have to go in there and monitor them there to see how they're proceeding, and then follow up accordingly there.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Cindy, Trey, would you all have any other tips, pointers, ideas for the folks before we close things out?
I'm thinking.
So there was a question that just popped in. If you must make changes to an already submitted e-Clearinghouse, Susanna, are we speaking about the application or your comments, your review comments? If you could clarify that for me. Just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing here. So the question was, if you must make changes to an already submitted clearinghouse, do you have to delete the original submission and resubmit? So just one clarification, if we're talking about the application from a submitter's perspective or comments from a reviewer's perspective.
I think that'll hold true.
I'll go ahead and make a guess, since this is a reviewer. Oh, okay. The original e-Clearinghouse submission. So that is an application into the e-Clearinghouse. So this is perspective of a submitter, kind of outside the scope, but we can touch on it real quick. No, you don't need to delete it. If you've submitted it, you have a way to withdraw it and reopen it and make your edits there. So there is a way, but once it is completed, once all reviews are in and Miss Cindy has generated the letter, then no, it's locked down. There is no way for you to withdraw it. Okay. So yeah, if it's the actual application that you're submitting, no, you don't have to delete out the application. As long as it hasn't been completed with a letter generated, you can withdraw it back, make your changes, and resubmit.
Awesome.
And as
Thanks,
Trey
Scott.
mentioned, yep. And as Trey mentioned, DLG is always here to help out. So please don't hesitate to reach out to Miss Cindy, Trey, Cole.
Definitely a
Cindy,
good
yeah.
idea. Go ahead, Cindy.
I just wondered if you'll let them know, I do have the capability of opening it so they can edit the application. But like you said, once the letter's done, then they have that information. The only time they really need to withdraw a project is if it's water projects, because that needs to free up the risk and the project number.
So they'll be doing the extension request, but yes, if a submitter submits an application, they can go ahead and withdraw it. If there's any information that is incomplete, Cindy is able to reopen that for you after it's been submitted. So there are ways so you don't have to create a new letter, or so you don't have to create a new application.
The application.
Yep.
There was one other thing when Josh was showing us the communication, the comments. I just wanted, just for my sake, because I see all the comments as well, is that help them understand that there'll be a review section with comments, and then there'll be communication back and forth either with me or with the applicant that are comments as well. You see where there might be a little bit of confusion there? One's comments and the other are comments that are basically communication opposed to a review.
Yes.
Does
So
that make sense?
The comments are all the results of the reviews. Basically, previously, what you saw in the legacy e-Clearinghouse, there was the comments provided by the reviewer organizations, yourselves. That's what the comments are there for. Information requests, as Cindy had mentioned, that's purely communication back and forth between yourselves as the reviewer and the submitter. And you will be able to see all of the communications between any reviewer organizations and and the submitter there.
Thank you. Are you all feeling pretty comfortable? Not you, Josh, not you, Scott. Are you reviewers feeling comfortable with what you just heard?
Got some thumbs up here.
Okay, good. We want to make it as smooth as possible for everyone.
So, Susanna, to clarify your question here, in your situation, the project has been submitted, all reviews have been completed, and a letter has been submitted. You have to, if there are any fundamental changes to the project, yes, you do have to create a new project application. You don't have to delete out the original one. If it's been approved and you received your letter, you don't have to delete out the original one. But if there are any fundamental changes to that project, you will have to generate a new one. We cannot reopen it once that letter is generated. It cannot be reopened. It is locked down. It's either extension requests from there or an entirely new project if any aspect of that scope changes.
While everybody is mulling over their next question, since we have such a lively bunch here talking at the same time, I did want to share my screen and show everyone where the Clearinghouse portal for now. Clearinghouse portal will be situated on the main DLG website, dlg.ky.gov. I think everybody knows at the bottom is Kentucky Clearinghouse. If you click this now, you will be directed to the Legacy Clearinghouse with the transmission stating that go live is next Friday, the 16th. Sometime this week or next week, I will be changing that button. So when you do click on this clearinghouse button here, you will be brought to a new page. You will have two options at that point, one for the legacy clearinghouse system and then one for the DLG portal. On that new page with those two options, there will be some verbiage and some documents as well as a link for these videos, either from today or on Tuesday. That way, if you want to go back and rewatch these videos to see the step-by-step instructions, or once we do receive the documentation, I will be posting that on that new page as well. So the new landing page, once you click this button here, will have all the information you need. But I did also want to see if I can share this window on the DLG portal, that the button at the very top that says Team Kentucky or My New Kentucky Home, if you click that, ironically, it will take you to the homepage of the DLG portal. That is always a good, safe button to have. If you get lost somewhere in the portal, you can always click on New Kentucky Home. It will take you back home. But from this page, if you click on support, just contact us here. The contact us will directly take you to our main website where you can fill out a contact form, all your information, name, email, phone number, subject, and comments. Those are sent directly to us and are monitored every day, all day long. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out from that support page or our main website, or you probably already have Miss Cindy's contact or Trey's contact. Olivia is out for a couple of months after the new baby. We are super happy about that, but Olivia is out for a couple of months. So if you do have any questions, use one of those avenues or reach out to us directly. Or if you have a relationship with Jennifer Peters or Travis or Mark, they obviously can get in touch with us as well. Like Scott said, we're here to help. If you have any questions, there are going to be bumps in the road. We know that technology is just one of those things. Something's going to happen. It's just the way that things go sometimes. But we're super excited about this new venture, and I think it's going to be very intuitive and user friendly once everyone gets in the system and gets to learn everything. But if you don't have any other questions, guys, we'll stick around. We have about 10 more minutes left in the meeting. If you want to stick around, ask some more questions, we'll hang out. If not, thank you all. We're excited about the new system, and we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your day. So thank you all.
Thank you.